Experiencing connection issues between your ASUS monitor and Xbox, especially regarding 120Hz, VRR, or YCC 422. The problem often stems from HDMI versions, cable quality, or incorrect settings. Start by ensuring you're using a certified HDMI 2.1 cable with 48 gigabits bandwidth. Power cycle both the Xbox and the monitor. These steps will resolve many initial connection problems. HDMI 2.1 is crucial for 4K gaming at 120Hz with VRR. Here's a comparison of HDMI 2.0 and HDMI 2.1 features. The Xbox Series XS outputs via HDMI 2.1. Check the rear ports on your Xbox console. Check your ASUS monitor's specifications to confirm HDMI 2.1 support. Look at your monitor display. Without HDMI 2.1, you might be limited to lower resolutions or refresh rates. The older HDMI 2.0 will cap you at 1080p 120Hz. To enable 120Hz on your Xbox, start by navigating to the Settings menu. Go to Settings, then General, and select TV and Display options. From there, choose Video Fidelity and Overscan and enable the 120Hz option. Next, access your ASUS monitor's on-screen display menu by pressing the joystick or button on the monitor. Navigate to the HDMI settings section and ensure the 120Hz option is enabled. This setting will typically be labeled as 120Hz in the OSD menu. For optimal performance, make sure to use an HDMI 2.1 compatible port on your ASUS monitor. Check the back of your monitor for the correct HDMI input. Variable refresh rate, or VRR, eliminates screen tearing by syncing the monitor's refresh rate with the game's frame rate. This creates smoother gameplay without the distracting visual artifacts. Without VRR, you might see screen tearing, where parts of the image appear misaligned during fast motion. With VRR enabled, the display stays smooth and fluid. On Xbox, VRR is enabled via HDMI in the Settings menu. Go to Settings, General, TV, and Display options and enable VRR. On your ASUS monitor, access the on-screen display using the monitor's buttons. Look for settings like Game Visual or a dedicated VRR tab, and enable VRR or its equivalent like Freesync or G-Sync. Remember, VRR must be enabled on both the Xbox and the ASUS monitor to function correctly. This ensures the best gaming experience. YCC 4.2 is a chroma subsampling format that efficiently transmits 4K signals over HDMI. It reduces bandwidth requirements by compressing color information while preserving image quality. To enable YCC 4.2.2 on your ASUS monitor, access the OSD menu using the monitor's buttons. Look for the setting under Picture or Color options. In the OSD, navigate to Color Settings, select YCC 4.2.2 and enable it. This optimizes color transmission for 4K. Once enabled on the monitor, your Xbox should automatically detect and utilize YCC 4.2.2 for improved 4K connectivity. Outdated monitor firmware can cause compatibility issues with Xbox connections. Common problems include HDMI handshake failures and VRR synchronization issues. To fix these issues, check the ASUS support website for the latest firmware version specific to your monitor model. Use the ASUS Display Widget app available for PC and Mac to install the firmware update. These updates often address HDMI handshake failures and VRR synchronization problems. Firmware version 2.1.4 and later have shown significant improvement in compatibility. If basic setup hasn't resolved your ASUS monitor and Xbox connectivity issues, try these additional troubleshooting steps. First, double-check that your HDMI cable is securely connected at both ends. Loose connections can cause handshake failures and signal drops, especially for 120Hz and VRR features. Reset your ASUS monitor to factory defaults through the OSD menu. This clears any conflicting settings that might prevent proper HDMI handshake or feature activation like VRR and YCC 4.2.2. On your Xbox, ensure the resolution is set to 4K in the TV and display options. This is crucial for enabling 120Hz refresh rates and other advanced features with ASUS monitors. Test your setup with another device or HDMI cable to isolate the problem. This helps determine if the issue is with the monitor, console, or cable, saving time in troubleshooting. Many ASUS monitors have specific HDMI ports labeled for gaming. Use these first, as they often support higher bandwidth required for 120Hz, VRR, and YCC 4.2.2 color modes. If connection issues continue despite other fixes, consider using a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter. These adapters have shown 90% compatibility for achieving 4K at 120 Hz on Xbox consoles, providing a reliable workaround when direct HDMI connections fail. ASUS is actively working on Xbox-ready certifications for future monitor models. This will ensure seamless integration with Xbox consoles, automatically configuring features like variable refresh rate and color modes without manual adjustments. Looking ahead, future trends include AI-driven auto detection in monitors and consoles. This technology will automatically identify the connected device and configure optimal settings, making Xbox and monitor connections virtually plug-and-play by 2030. To stay updated, regularly check ASUS support pages for new firmware updates and information about emerging Xbox-ready certifications.